सीता कान्तवियद्भव वरहिरण्याण्डङ्गता वाहिनी वृष्टिर्नारदनीलमेघगलिता वाल्मीकिहृत्कूपगा वाल्मीक्यद्रिविनिर्गता भुवि पुनः रङ्गे शशान्तिप्रदा सा नः पातु सरस्वती श्रुतिकरी रामाब्धिगासूनृता करामलकवद्येन भावार्थो दर्शितश्रुतेः श्रुत्यैव राघवप्रेम्णा तं श्रीरङ्गार्यमाश्रये. Silence. That is where we ended the last session in PADHUKA PATTABHISHEKA. Sarve tushnim samupasinaha na kanchit kinchid abravit. Bharata and Rama are there. Bharata came the day before and he had already requested Rama to come and take back the kingdom. Tasyame dasabhutasya prasadam kartumarhati. He says, O Rama, I am your servant. I am here for you. And please just do me this one thing. Abhishinchasvachadyeva rajyena maghavaniva. He says, now itself you come, be coronated. Let's go back to Ayodhya. Rama speaks to him very shortly, very succinctly he speaks. And he says, now is not the time to discuss this. First of all, you are disrespecting, you are going past whatever our father has set for us. It is not supposed to be in this way, Rama says. And the night ends. And next day morning comes, and as Champakaji, Vaidehiji rightly said yesterday, everybody is silent. Nobody has spoken anything. Everybody is contemplating what to say next. In this way, as everything is settled down, Bharata begins to speak to Rama. Santvita mamika mata dattam rajyamidam mama tad dadami tavaivaham bhungshva rajyamakantakam. He says, what is the purpose of all of this? After all, my mother asked for something and she wanted that kingdom. She wanted it really badly. And so for this only everything has happened. So here the purpose is lost. Santvita mamika mata. My mother is pacified. She has no need of the kingdom anymore. And yes, the kingdom has been given to me now also. Dattam rajyam idam mama. I am giving it back to you now. And now you enjoy this kingdom. Come back. Bharata begins. He says, Gatim khara ivashvasya tarkshasyeva patatrinaha. He says, see, I am like a donkey compared to a horse. A horse is swift, it's fast. A donkey cannot possibly move as fast as a horse. Or I am like, a small bird compared to a big eagle. An eagle can soar, it can spread its wings. It is capable, much more capable than any other bird. In this way, I am to you. I cannot compare myself to you. Your gatim tava mahipate. I cannot go in the same way you are going. I cannot take care of this kingdom in the same way you are doing. After all, I am dependent upon you. We started yesterday's lecture with Bhakta Shiromani. A very key tenet of Bharata's bhakti is that he is, and he sincerely believes with all of his heart that he is Rama's. He is Rama's property. He is under Rama, and that bhava and that feeling is what Bharata is communicating here. He is saying, I can only live under you. After all, he says, it is a great life to be under the control of someone. It is a great life to be dependent under someone. It is only the person who has to take care of everything, who has so many responsibilities, who lives a tough life. I want to be under you. I want to be under your rule. It's not just me. The whole of Ayodhya, everybody here, all of these armies, all of these people from different classes, different creeds, different professions, all of them have gathered here for one purpose, to come back with you to Ayodhya and to see you as their king. So right now itself, get coronated. Let us go back to Ayodhya. Let all the elephants resound in joy and happiness as you take over Ayodhya and have us as your subjects. He implores in this way. Rama begins to speak. As Rama starts to speak, we'll all start to feel like this has nothing to do with Bharata's saying. So follow with me for a while and we'll get to what Rama is trying to say. Starts off by saying this. Natmanaha kamakarosti purushoyam anishvaraha itascha itarataschainam kritantaha parikarshati. He says, you see, human beings, people in general, we cannot do just whatever we want. Kamakarosti. It's not like as if whatever I desire I can do it immediately. Because after all, purushoyam anishvaraha. This human being is there, right? He's not God. He is not omniscient, he is not omnipresent, he is severely limited, and he is walking around. His walking around is not even dependent upon him. Itascha itarataschainam. You see, this fate, time, is just pulling him here and there. He is just dancing to the whims of time, living his life. He really does not have anything in his hands. He is truly not free. He is not able to do whatever he desires. And in that way, everything in this world is running. Sarve kshayantaha nichayaha patanantaha samuchrayaha sayyogaha viprayogantaha maranantam cha jeevitam. Sarve kshayantaha. You see, just like how man is completely, what to say, he is not God, he cannot do whatever he wants. In the same way, this whole world, nothing is permanent. Sarve kshayantaha. If there is anything that is accumulated, it is its nature to be spent. Patanantaha samuchrayaha. What goes up must come down. See, it's very interesting. This is what he is bringing to the table when he is talking to Bharata about taking the kingdom. Patanantaha samuchrayaha sayyogaha viprayogantaha. If two people are, coming together for something, if two people are having a relationship in certain manners, maybe they're friends, maybe they're husband and wife, maybe they're father and son, all of them have an end. Anything that starts with coming together has to be separated. And maranantam cha jeevitam, all of these things, spending and accumulating, what goes up must come down, or what comes together must be separated. All of these things happen in something which is called life, right? That life also has an end. Death closes all. Maranantam cha jeevitam, the nature of life is to beget death. In this way, anything that starts, anything that is spent, anything that moves, anything that is stationary, everything has an end. There is nothing that is called as permanent in this world. You see, even if there's a big house with big pillars, it may seem permanent for a select amount of time. But that also vanishes. In that way, something that we take 100 years, right, sounds big to us, can go away in a flash. Time is extremely relative. And what is very interesting is, when we are confronted with this reality, that everything is impermanent, so on and so forth, yatha phalanam pakvanam nan yatra patanad bhayam evam narasya jatasya nan yatra maranad bhayam. Death closes all of this is there. When you confront this, just like how there are fruits on a tree, right? When the fruit ripens, it falls. The fruit isn't scared of falling down or being ripened. It doesn't even realize that it's going to fall from the tree. In the same way, this man who is born, this human being who is born, he is not at all even aware of death, or he is not at all scared of death. It's so interesting that when, a paltry 100 years we live, probably until the last few years maybe, we don't try to, we're not scared of death. We're living, breathing, moving, walking, doing everything with this, thing looming over us in 100 years. But we're not scared of it at all. We're not even aware of it. And Rama says, he goes further. He says, why are you even worrying about another person's life? Your life is running away from you every day. Nandanti uditaditye, nandanti astamite ravau. The nature of people is they celebrate when it's a new morning, they celebrate when it's a new night. But what they don't realize is that is one more day gone from your life. Right? Whatever finite amount you have remaining, it's just decreased. And you're coming closer and closer to death. But people still enjoy, people still, are blissfully unaware of this impermanence, of this death that is coming to them. Death closes all, right? In this way, Rama starts to speak. And he says, and this goes on, there are at least 10 to 12 shlokas here where Rama just sits down and describes the impermanence of the world. Again, a very important question here, what is the point of all of this? Why come and tell this to somebody who's asking you to come back and take the kingdom? Rama is coming to that. Vayasaf patamanasya srotasova nivartinaha atma sukhe niyoktavyaha sukhabhajaf prajasmritaha. So what if life is impermanent? Right? Vayasaf patamanasya. And yes, it is like a river that is going beyond our means. We are not able to catch up with it. So what can we do? Atma sukhe niyoktavyaha. Find happiness. In whatever finite amount of life you have, do the right things, do dharma, do welfare, and through that welfare, stay in happiness. Unite yourself with happiness, and being in that happiness becomes the prime duty of life, perhaps because life is impermanent. And so, our father Dasharatha did that. He lived his life. He did welfare to all the people. This impermanent life for 100 years, perhaps, or even more, how much ever his lifespan was. He dedicated it to the people. He pushed principles. He made sure people lived happily. Through that happiness, he attained happiness. And as a result of that happiness, he paid his debts. He is now going to the heavens happily. So there is no need to continuously worry about what our father, how our father is suffering, or whether what our father did, or trying to repair that. Right now, what is important is being in the dharma we have and know. In this way, Rama starts to speak, and it makes sense. Bharata again starts to take this further. He says, "Oh Rama, only you can speak like this. Somebody who knows how destruction happens, how destruction and creation exist. Prabhava bhava kovidaha. Somebody who only knows this can speak like this. And somebody who truly, is able to understand all of this is someone who is not going to be conflicted when some big adversity comes in their life. All of this is very great. But you mentioned our father has done great deeds in life. He has lived a happy life. He has done dharma. Through that dharma, he has attained satisfaction and he has gone to the heavens. All of this is very great. But he made a mistake. It is a mistake to have sent you to the forest. However you look at it, you do not deserve to be in the forest. What my mother did was a great sin, and what my father did was also wrong. I don't want to elaborate on it further because we're in the midst of so many people here. All the people of Ayodhya are here. But it is a fact that what Dasharatha did is wrong. He shouldn't have exiled you. After all, he was on his deathbed. He was old. He did not know what he was doing. Right? Somebody who is not in the clear state of mind, them giving some arbitrary decision cannot serve as the reason for 14 years of vanavasa. And you are talking about dharma, right? Atma sukhe niyoktavyaha. We have to live our lives doing the right thing, through that right thing obtaining happiness. Kvacharanyam kvachakshatram kvajataha kvachapalanam. Bharata says, there is something called as swadharma, your dharma. You are a kshatriya. Your prime dharma is to stay in the kingdom and take care of the kingdom, take care of the subjects. It is not a small feat. Ranjayati iti raja, the whole point of a king is to take care of the people. That's why the word king exists. Sanskrit is a very interesting language. Each word, when it means something, the root represents that word in every way, shape and form. We saw yesterday, right? Ramukridayam for Rama, for example. The same way, the whole point of a raja is, if you want to call somebody a raja, a king, His function is to please the people, keep the people happy. That is his dharma. And you are born in a Raja Kula. Your job is to keep the people happy. Instead of doing that, here you are, Kvacharanyam, Kvachakshatram. Here you are going to the forest. Where is the forest? Where is Kshatriya Dharma? Where is keeping and taking care of the people? Kvachataha, Kvachapalanam. You're right now wearing the matted hair and going through your daily duties as somebody who's supposed to be in a rishi vritti, living like a rishi. In that way you are. Where is that and where is taking care of the people? Kvachataha, Kvachapalanam. Instead of doing all of this, come back. If you really want to do some sort of dharma, kleshaja, some sort of dharma where you want to toil and really work for the welfare of something, there's no need to do 14 years of some penance in the forest or something of that nature. Come back to the kingdom and toil there in the kingdom. You can do the same dharma, perhaps dharma that is supposed to be for you in the kingdom that is set for you. So come back. Kimcha pratyaksham utsrujya samshayastham alakshanam. There is a pratyaksha dharma waiting for you. There is a dharma that is right in front of you. You are born into it. It is for you. Leaving that, why are you coming to some doubtful dharma? Something that does not suit your characteristics, that is not, defining the part you were born to play. Why are you there? Ayatistam charet dharmam kshatra bandhuhu anishchitam. Don't go into things which are not, anishchita. They are not set in stone. There is something that is set in stone for you. Keep in that. Chaturnam ashramanam hi garhastyam shreshtham ashramam prahuhu dharmagya dharmagnyaha tam katham tyaktumarhasi. Bharata says even further. Chaturnam ashramanam hi. There are 4 ashramas. All of us would have heard brahmachari, grihastha, vanaspatya, and then sannyasi. In these, grihastha is the greatest ashrama. Garhastyam shreshtam ashramam. That's how all the people who know dharma say, how can you leave this grihastha and come to the forest? So all of this Rama takes into consideration. See, first Rama said the whole point of all of this is to do dharma. After all, life is fleeting. We have to spend whatever moments we have to do dharma, Rama says. Bharata comes back, he rebuts and he says, well, dharma is doing what dharma is made for you. Go and do that dharma instead of doing something which is so uncertain. Don't just go to the forest all of a sudden because of the whims and fancies of somebody who's on their deathbed. Bharata says. Rama comes to the next point. You see, it's not necessarily that Dasharatha was just on his deathbed and this happened. Rama says, first of all, when we were young, when Dasharatha was marrying Kaikeyi itself, he promised the kingdom to Kaikeyi's son. When his son grew up, it was a sort of bridal dowry. It was something that he offered. Rama states, that is clearly there. More so, even this is, you can take it as circumstantial evidence. Okay, it's just a hearsay. At the end of the day, Rama is the elder son. Elder son should get the kingdom. Second point he keeps. Dasharatha was not at his deathbed when he gave the boons to Kaikeyi to fulfill this. Right? Those boons have existed much long before Kaikeyi asked for them. And so this space exists where Kaikeyi can ask for these boons. More so, forget the fact, let's neglect the fact of whether sending Rama to the forest is wrong or not. The fact of the matter is, Dasharatha made a pratigna. That pratigna is what is at cost here. And Rama says, saving my father from that pratigna is the greatest dharma I can do at this point of time. If I make my father somebody who does not follow the truth, then I have truly failed him. After all, putra, somebody who is called as a putra, the whole point is, again, Rama goes to the etymological meaning of it. Somebody who protects his father from the naraka called put is putra. Somebody who protects his father from, the wrongdoings he has done can only be truly called as a son. So, my most important job here, yes, Kshatriya dharma is there, taking care of the people is there. That is very, very important, no doubt. but this takes first precedence. Even in dharma, there is a taratamya, there is a hierarchy. There are things that are more pressing that have to be taken care of first. And he says, making sure my father is truthful is the most important thing I can do. It is the only way I can truly be debtless. Bharata mentions before this, come back to the kingdom, repay all of your debts. In our culture, we have an idea called rina, right? And paying back the debts we have incurred to various people, Pitru Rina, to our ancestors, to the Bhuta Rina, to the living beings around us, Manushya Rina, to the people, the human beings around us, nature, Deva Rina, and the rishis who have given us these shastras. And the Vedas, look at dharma as fulfilling these debts. Somebody who has lived, a successful life is someone who's fulfilled these debts. Rama says, Pitru Rina, it's here. I have to fulfill this debt I have to my father. I have to fulfill his promise. That is my prime directive. I have to be in that. In this way, Rama speaks, and it's clear. Truth has a higher priority than whatever swadharma that Bharata is mentioning. Rama ends by saying, Tvam Raja Bharata Bhavas Swayam Naranam Vanyanam Ahamapi Rajaran Mriganam Gachatvam Puravaram Adya Samprahishtaha Samhrishtaha Ahamapi Dandakan Pravekshye Chayam Tvam Dinakara Bhav Prabadhamanam Varshatram Bharata Karotu Murdhni Shitam. He says, we'll first look at this, then we'll go on. He says, first of all, Tvam Raja. See, Bharata here is trying to bring logic. He's still in an emotional state. He's trying to bring Rama back to the kingdom somehow. So Rama says, you be a king in Ayodhya. If you're so concerned about my swadharma, Tvam Raja, you be a king in Ayodhya. You take care of the people. Vanyanam ahamapi rajarandraganam. I will be a king also for the time being, here in the forest. I will live here while you have the royal umbrella to give you shade. Chayamte dinakara bhav prabadhamanam. I will have the same chaya also by the trees that are here, the same shadow, just like how you are under this shadow, atishainim sukhim shrayishye. Just like how you are in the same shadow of the royal umbrella, I will also be in the same shadow under these trees. So, don't worry about Swadharma. You be a king of Ayodhya for the time being. I'll be the king of this forest. I'll roam here happily. You have Shatrughna, Kushila Matistute Sahayaha. And I have Lakshmana, Pradhana Mitram, Viditaha Pradhana Mitram, Saumitrihi Viditaf Pradhana Mitram, Mama Viditaf Pradhana Mitram. He is my friend. He is my somebody. He is my assistant. Just like how you have Shatrughna to assist you with the kingly duties, I'll have Lakshmana to assist you in my forest life. So don't worry. There is no difference between you and me. I am also, happily living here, taking care of whatever swadharma I have, and more importantly, Satyastham Bharata Kuru Bharata Charema Ma Vishadam. We will make Narendra, we will make Dasharatha truthful. The point here is Swadharma, all of this can stay. I'll be happy in the forest. But again, Satyastham, making my father truthful is the point of all of this. And until that truth is fulfilled, until that 14 years of exile is fulfilled, I cannot come back. So let us both together work on this. Let's work together on this. Make our father truthful. Make him happy. Let us all be happy, living our separate lives for these 14 years and come back once more. In this way, Rama speaks. Here, another person begins to give their ideas. This is in my opinion, one of the most interesting conversations. The next two sargas are one of the most interesting conversations in Ramayana for me. A minister called Jabali comes. Jabali says, "Oh Rama, very beautiful. You've spoken about dharma, spoken about Swadharma, and then Kshatra Dharma, so on and so forth. And then you said, okay, Kshatra Dharma is not important. Let's all be in truth together." You're saying, very beautiful. You are very intelligent, first of all. Why are you going for something that is so, intangible, something that I cannot see or process like truth? See, speaking about truth, saying that our father must be in truth, all of this is pretty much meaningless, right? Truth, can you see truth? Have any of you seen truth? Nobody has seen truth here, right? It's just some abstract concept that exists somewhere that, some people have put for their own convenience. Society, they needed it. So they created this thing called truth. There's no need to really follow it. Do whatever you want to do. That is freedom. No? Doing whatever you want, right? He says, Kah kasya purusho bandhuhu kimapyam kasya kenachit yedeko jayate jantuhu eka eva vinashyati. See, what is there? What relatives? What is a relative? See, what is a father? Father is an entity. The definition of a father is some entity who gave birth to another entity called as son or child or whatever. So there is an entity and another entity. The only relationship they have is this entity was born due to that entity. There is no real thing called as relative. It's very similar to what Rama was saying in the beginning, right? There is nothing called permanence in the world. Everybody, there is no such thing as relationships in the world. It's very, very interesting how, the same insight that the world is impermanent or that nobody is beholden to another person can lead to two different, very different trains of thought. Rama is going to address that later on. But listen to Jabali for now. Kah kasya purusho bandhuhu kimapyam kasya kenachit. You see, you're talking about, Dasharatha becoming debtless due to, my effort. Look at this sentence. Can you see Dasharatha right now? No, he's not here. He's dead, gone. He's not on the earth anymore. Debt. What debt? Where? Anybody here have any, physical representation of debt? I'm not asking about credit cards. But anybody have any physical representation of debt? Not really. Rinam kritva ghritam pibet. You would have heard this. It's a Lokayata matam thing. Lokayata, Charvakas. They say, what resources? You want a resource, you take it however you see fit. You don't owe anybody anything. Yes, that's what Jabali is saying. Ramayana serves as a very good bedrock for, a lot of insights. It also serves as a very good, precursor for Lokayata as well. So he says, Kimapyam kasya kenachit. Who cares? Get it however you want, do whatever you need. Just enjoy. Kimapyam kasya kenachit. Eko hi jayate. After all, right? You are getting born and you are going to die. Is there anything else that is in it for you? It's your life, right? Your decisions, your happiness. Prioritize that. Stop worrying about some invisible debt, a dead father who, by the way, zero relation to you. He is a separate entity, you are a separate entity. Only role he had was making sure you were born. That's it. Nothing else. So stop worrying about that. See, yattadadishta pratyaksham paroksham prishtatah kuru. Take whatever is in front of you. Paroksha, anything else that you're talking about, dharma, satya, all of these, you cannot experience right now. So don't worry about it. Why would you sit and, think about the action I'm doing right now and what effect it has later? Focus on the action you're doing right now. Get whatever you can get out of it for the time being. Paroksham prishtatah kuru. We'll worry about that later. When that comes, we will handle it. So, in this way, Jabali says, and he gives an example for this also, Drishtanta. It's almost like a Siddhanta he's trying to, it's a Purva Paksha essentially, right? So he gives an example. You see, people, the Pitra Shraddha is happening. Forefathers, they have died. And the idea, the Aitiham, the idea we have is when we're offering food to the Brahmanas who have come to eat or who have come to, for the ritual. There, the Pitras themselves have come to, eat and consume the food, is the idea. Again, they're dead, they're not here. Why are you wasting unnecessary money for somebody? Can you fill someone else's, stomach here and ensure that somebody who's in Pitraloka, assuming Pitraloka exists, can you assume that somebody in Pitraloka, their stomach is going to be filled? What sort of absurd notion is this? So Rama, don't prioritize, try to balance, okay, there is wealth and there is dharma, ethics. Don't worry about any of that. Wealth comes and goes, right? If wealth comes and goes, enjoy it to the maximum. And, worry about other things later. We can see it. And there's no such thing as a supreme thing to begin with. See, who cares about I do this karma and there is a being who's going to come and give me the fruit of my action, so on and so forth. Nasti paramityeva. There's no superior being at all even. So don't worry about it. Come back. Also, Ayodhya is waiting for you, man. Ayodhya is ready. See, most people, if they want something so badly, they have to cheat, lie, go through so many different hoops to get what they want. Everything is ready for you. If you say right now, everybody is willing to take you also. It won't even be looked at as a bad thing. Some people may be concerned. If I do something bad, even though it gives me enjoyment, other people may look at it as bad. That isn't here either. You come back, everybody is going to be actually happy that you came back. So come back. In this way, Jabali speaks. And Rama starts to speak. He says, you have said all of this for me only, I know. But even then, apatyam patyasammitam. What you have said, even though it sounds very sound and logical and something that gives welfare, apatyam, it is at its very base something that does not, is not logical even, does not give welfare to begin with. See, Rama interestingly takes two routes here to answer this question, and both routes are built within each other. He says, Yadvritaha santi rajanaha tadvritaha santihi prajaha. You see this world, right? You can say ethics don't exist, morals don't exist, all of these are entities that, are just like ether. They have, zero meaning perhaps. But there is some unspoken rule in society that exists. Charitrameva vyakhyati. First of all, you see, no matter what you say, everybody and everything is judged by character. Character and character alone can serve as a judge for whether you accept a person or not. A person is a good person or not. Goodness exists, right? And the simple reason why I can say it exists is because the whole of society accepts it. It's universal. More so, what happens if something like this doesn't exist? Simple. The world, if everybody acted as they desired, right, there'd be no such thing as, law, nature, order. If order doesn't exist, then really the world doesn't exist to begin with. So the world acting according to its whims, that is something that cannot happen. And if I act according to whims, the same way, you are suggesting, if I say, okay, whatever, satyam, doesn't matter. I come back, that affects society as a whole. The whole point of dharma is universal welfare, right? Dharma really only exists when there's more than one person to take care of it. You can only really start thinking about dharma when you start thinking about how your actions affect others. And Rama touches upon that. Take, for example, the same truth, right? We see truth's importance in society everywhere. Two simple examples, business and law. Anna gives this example very commonly, business and law. In today's society, right, the very act of money is, decided with truth. Anybody who's seen economics knows, right? Money is only money as long as it has value. How is value decided? Trust. Simply trust that the piece of paper in your hand has that value, right? That's why you see, various countries putting in God we trust, so on and so forth, on their banknotes, because they're saying this is the trust you have kept with us to make sure this money means this much. In this way, starting from, the basic thing for business to, anything that happens, a contract or something, so on and so forth, if there is no trust, that whole field is kaput. That whole field is gone, right? If you say, truth isn't real, trust isn't real, well, you're not going to have a working economy or society to begin with. Even this, okay, understandable. It becomes even more worse when you get into something like law. You see, there's a criminal in a courtroom. One of the biggest things that people have to rely on is the witness testimonial. If a witness sees something happening, they have to testify in front of the judge. What is the first thing you do when you testify? You swear that whatever you're saying is the truth, right? Perhaps the biggest crime, one of the biggest crimes in any judiciary system is perjury. Not saying, when you've testified, saying something against evidence is a huge crime. What happens if that starts to happen? If I have a convicted criminal who's sitting there and witnesses start to lie just because of some, immediate enjoyment, say they get money out of it, say they get some sort of prize out of it, say the judge, he can be easily bribed, gets money out of it. He is getting some immediate satisfaction from, not telling the truth or betraying the trust of the people. Simple. criminals will be allowed to walk free. The law will become meaningless. We may argue, even without witness testimonial, we can use physical evidence, all of these other things for the witness testimonial to work. Or perhaps, let's have it be that which lawyer is the best, let's let them win. Whoever speaks better, let's have them, win. All of that can be argued, but at the end of the day, just evidence, however we look at it, can only be very circumstantial. Without a witness, most things cannot stand, unfortunately. And, having a lawyer who speaks well doesn't solve the problem, right? Again, lawyers exist for money. If the criminal has a good lawyer, then the criminal wins. So in this way, witness testimonials, telling the truth is, is the basis of having a society that runs on law and order. If law and order doesn't exist in society, if we allow criminals to, run free, you know what that entails, right? So in this way, just with these two examples, something that seems so fleeting, something which seems unreal that I can't see. It's not pratyaksha, right? It's paroksha. I can't see it at all even. That something's importance, its effect is known. Even if, I can't, maybe I can't agree on whether there is some higher power or whatever, it doesn't matter. You do something wrong, there is an effect. And that effect can be seen in society. And if I do something wrong, redvritta santi rajanaha tadvrittaha santihi prajaha. Right now, I am, like you said, like what Bharata said, right? I am the king. I'm part of the kingly vamsha. If I come back now and say, you know what, enough of the truth, let's take care of the people, people will be happy. Naturally, they'll be happy. Definitely, people will want me to come. But what will happen is, as time passes on, somebody will disobey this truth in my own society. Somebody will, lie, cheat, corrupt, maybe a bribe happens, something of the sort. And when asked, or when found out that this is wrong, they will say, Rama did it, why can't I? After all, he is the king himself came in such a way because it's beneficial for everybody. This is also beneficial for me. If Rama did it, why can't I? In this way, simply because I'm a role model, not to mention, if a normal person itself does this, it has severe impact on society. That is what we just saw. Me being a role model, if I start this, it will unravel this whole thing and order will be collapsed in Ayodhya. So, by following the truth, by making sure that my father is truthful, that he is in his oath, and I want to be very clear here, this is something I should mention. This is something that is specifically for oaths in the realm of truth, right? Whether it's in business or law, or in the case of, whatever we're seeing here, it is an oath. We're not talking about, a simple truth, maybe something like, I told somebody I'd come here at say 5 a.m. today, but then I had another commitment and I couldn't make it, right? Something like that is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about something of the nature of, I swear on this, I promise on this, with these people as witnesses to give the truth. Things of that nature beget this sort of cause and effect. That, if I break an oath, I'm simply inspiring other people to break such important oaths, which hold such a big weight in society. So Rama starts off by saying this, the simple impact of, considering all this to be unreal and walking back to Ayodhya has this impact on society. He goes to another point, because maybe it can be argued, who cares about other parts of society? You take care of yourself, it's your life, whatever. He says, I don't even know if you'll really find happiness if you, behave in this way for yourself. Pratyagatmam imam dharmam satyam manyamahe satyam satyam pashyamyaham swayam bharaha satpurusha chirnaha bharas satpurusha chirnaha bharas satpurusha chirnaha tadartham abhimanyate. Okay, tadartham abhimanyate. Simple. Pratyagatmam imam dharmam. Whatever dharma, this way we establish dharma as a conduit for society, or dharma is important for society. This dharma is not just an external construct. If you have the experience or if you have realized it, this dharma also is something that is internal. Perhaps it is the closest thing to yourself. Pratyagatmam imam dharmam. It is the dharma. Dharma is within the self. or dharma is perhaps the self itself. Satyam pashyamyaham swayam, and that dharma here is truth, or that dharma here is truth is here. Dharma is truth, and that is the way I see it, is what Rama says. This truth we can explore, it will take some time, but to say it in a short, succinct manner is, truth, why truth is important, if you go back all the way to the Vedas, Satyenothavita bhumihi, truth is seen as natural order. When I am making an oath or a promise, I am holding whatever I say as to be as important as the natural set of laws that are already there for this world. Satya is what holds this earth together. Satya is the gravity that holds earth. Satyena vayuravati. Satya is the reason why the wind blows. That's how the Vedas see truth. And when I'm making an oath, this oath means that just like how these natural laws are upheld, that is how I'm holding it. And we have seen what dharma is. The etymological meaning of dharma is literally nature. And that satya is that dharma, these natural laws. Being in satya, being in that order, being in that truth, upholding the truth is dharma. And this is the way I see, pashyamyaham swayam. And he says further, the reason why people hold these values, bharaha satpurusha chiranaha, tadartham abhimanyate, to be in this peace of the self, that is the only reason, or not the only reason, that is the reason why virtuous people have this weight of doing disciplines or having values. This weight is held in their heart to be in that happiness. Reason why I wanted to say this here is because I think we got a question on this yesterday itself, right? How is the self exactly connected to dharma? Right? Following dharma, how does that help with the self? We can perhaps see it as discarding everything that is the non-self and being the self. Rama sets up something very interesting here. Perhaps being in dharma, being fully in dharma is being in the self. And that is what he says. People who are virtuous, the reason why they are virtuous is to be in that self and experience that happiness. Starting from Atma Sukhe Niyoktavyaha, that meaning, that weight Rama brings here. And so he says, treating dharma or treating satya or treating all of these things that are, that I can't see or can't experience as unreal leads to these negative impacts in society, and at the end of the day, I might not get any happier from it as well. There is no internal happiness that comes from that as well. So in this way, whatever you said, first of all, and Rama is very angry when he's saying this, because this view, it can be very convincing and very confusing. This view does not, and like he said, right, this view does not contribute to welfare. Rama will become very angry, or Rama's anger is connected to when something doesn't fall with the welfare of others. We saw examples for that yesterday actually. So this view is so damaging, and Rama says that I don't understand how my father kept you in his court because you're spouting off such views. These views will severely damage society, and at the end of the day, these views do not really bring anything except for the downfall of society. So these views have to be severely condemned. Even though I know you said it for my sake, these views cannot be accepted. He says something else that is also very interesting. I'll just say those words and leave you all to think about it and move on, because time is almost up. Yatha buddhaha tatha choraha. He says something, somebody who speaks in this way, right? And by the way, he calls this sort of a person who speaks this sort of topic as Nastika. This is what Nastika means in Ramayana. Somebody who disregards dharma. Anti-Vedic means somebody who disregards the dharma and the universal welfare that the Vedas stand for. And so he says, somebody who is like this, who is a Nastika, who is somebody who thinks himself to be quite intelligent, speaking this sort of materialism, they are nothing more than just thieves and plagiarists of original insights. I leave that thought to you all, and we'll see how that goes forward. But Rama says this. It's something that I feel is very pertinent to the coming years as well. So after saying all of this, Jabali also mentions, I am really not a Nastika, nacha nasti kinchana. In fact, I am not a Nastika because I don't believe in the non-existence of anything. Nothing does not exist. That's hard. Nacha nasti kinchana. So Because of that, I am not a Nastika. I only spoke these words to make you come back. In this way, Jabali says, even then Rama's anger is not gone. Vasishta sees this. And he says, Jabali knows what he is seeing. He knows about the destruction of beings and he knows how nothingness works. He really only did tell it to make sure that you come back. But enough of that. I'll tell something now. Vasishta comes and enters into the arena. He says, okay, I will talk about Srishti Krama now. In the beginning, there was water everywhere. From the water came the earth. The earth was held by a Varaha. This has a lot of meaning. I'm glossing over it for the time being. And there's a significance to what he's saying here. And Akasha Prabhavo Brahman, from that supreme space of consciousness, Brahma was born. From Brahma, Kashyapa, Marichi came. And from them, a person called Ikshwaku came. Eventually, Manu gave birth to Ikshwaku. This Ikshwaku is, the Vamsha, the beginning, the progenitor of the Ikshwaku Vamsha that we see today. And he names around 31 people. He just keeps on going. From Ikshwaku, this person was born, Kukshi, Vikukshi, so on and so forth. And he says all the way to Aja. Aja is Rama's grandfather. Aja was born. In fact, Aja and another person was born. Aja is the eldest. Aja was crowned. Then Dasharatha, who is the eldest son of Aja, was born. And then Rama, you are the eldest son of Dasharatha. Now I have said around 32 people. There is one thing that is common with all of them. They are the eldest son of the king. And this has been existing since time immemorial, or at least for a very, very long time. This is a conventional dharma that you cannot break. The eldest son has to be king. So therefore, Rama, as you are the eldest son, you have to be king. This isn't enough because Rama almost already gave an answer to this. This is the same answer as what Bharata said for Swadharma, right? It's simple, eldest son being king is correct, but it's more important to be in the truth than the eldest son being king, because that is much more, that is something that is much less circumstantial than, this dharma of the first son has to be king. So Vasishta also adds another thing here. He says, there are three very important people in a person's life: father, mother, and guru. Of this, guru has to perhaps be considered the most important because he is the one who gives you knowledge, right? I am your guru. Listen to me, come back to the kingdom, leave all of this, and be in the kingdom and take care of everyone's prosperity. Rama gives an answer for this also. Yes, you are my guru, but I cannot discount all the service that my father and mother have done for me since the beginning. When I was sick, they took care of me. They made me go to sleep. They gave me oil baths every day. This is what Rama says. They give me oil baths every day, took care of my health. In this way, they have taken care of me for so long. I have to give back. I cannot simply just discard what they have done for me and go back to the kingdom, however important you are. In this way, he says, nobody else can say anything. Even Vasishta has been shut down. And sometime back itself, when Bharata was speaking itself, all the people were very happy to see, on one hand, they were very happy to see Rama being in the truth. On the other hand, they were sad to see that Rama is not coming back with them. So that, that Chanchala, or not even that Chanchala, the people of Ayodhya have also slowly come to realize no matter what they say, Rama is going to only be here in the forest. So Bharata, after seeing that nobody else is coming here, nobody else is coming to do anything, he says, okay, no other choice. I am going to do Prayopavesha. I shall fast unto death until Rama comes back with me to Ayodhya, until Rama gets coronated. In this way, Bharata starts to speak and Bharata sits down. He asks Sumantra to actually bring the Darbhasana for him. And Sumantra just is looking at Rama. He himself does not know what to do. And Bharata says, no, I'll bring it. He comes, takes the Darbha, sits down, touches the water, sits down and starts to fast. Rama says, oh Bharata, my dear, listen to me. Look at all of these people. You can go back and take care of them. They're here for you only. Please go back and take care of them. Touch the water, touch me and go back to Ayodhya. Bharata also listens to this. He cannot disobey Rama how much ever he wants to. After all, he is a bhakta of Rama. He is under Rama. He says, I am not capable. I cannot do this. And also, Bharata, there's one core thing here, right? Bharata feels responsible for Rama going to the forest. After all, it was his mother who, initiated all of this. And Bharata states that again, I have no hand in any of this. It is only my mother who is responsible for this. You need not go to the forest for my sake. If anything, I will go to the forest for 14 years. You come back to the kingdom. We'll switch. I'll go to the forest. You come back to the kingdom. You take care of the people. Rama says, again, truth. I have to go. That cannot be switched. It can't be done by proxy or anything of the sort. So, all of this is gone for Bharata. And finally, after every option is exhausted, the rishis who are all seeing this conversation on dharma, they are all astounded. And they come and tell Bharata, finally they say, it is important for Rama to be debtless to his father. You also make sure that he is debtless to his father, just like how his father is debtless and he has gone to the heavens. He is now, happy because he is debtless, what Rama said in the beginning. In that way, you also must keep in this path of dharma to make sure that Rama is also debtless towards his father. Seeing no other recourse, Bharata asks Rama, Adhiroharya padabhyam paduke hemabhushite ete hi sarvalokasya yogakshemam vidasyataha. He shows, you won't come with me, I see. But at least get on these two padhukas. I have brought these two padhukas for you. Arya, O noble one, please please use these padhukas. Please adorn these padhukas. And through these padhukas, whatever satya that is there that I need to take care of, whatever dharma that is there, these padhukas will take care of that. Yogakshemam vidasyataha. For the kingdom, whatever has to be done, these padhukas will take care of. I am merely an instrument. Bharata does not lose that bhava. This is karma yoga. Karma yoga is this reconciliation of bhakti from Bharata and dharma and satya from Rama. And so, in this way, Bharata takes these padhukas, and Rama says very clearly again, Lakshmi's Chandradapeyadva Himavanva Himam Styajet. No matter what, I will be in this truth. Even if, the moon loses its splendor, or the Himalayas lose its snow, or, the ocean crosses its boundary, Atiyat Sagaro Velam. I am not going to let go of this truth, but you go back and take care of the people, take care of your mother. Make sure that she is treated well. He says this specifically to Bharata. And in this way, Bharata and all the people who come from Ayodhya, after everything that is done, he takes these sandals on his head and he goes back to Ayodhya. He first circumambulates the whole of Chitrakuta. Even that has a staying landmark today. So, he circumambulates this Chitrakuta and then he comes back to Ayodhya. He is not able to settle in Ayodhya also. This Ayodhya is being bereft of Rama. Without Rama, this Ayodhya has lost its splendor, and whenever Bharata is there, he is reminded of Rama. So, he looks at his ministers and he decides to go somewhere else, somewhere where he can be in the same tapasya. After all, he is wearing the same tree barks and the same matted hair that Rama was wearing right now, right? We saw that yesterday. He's wearing the same Veshabhushana. So he comes to the outskirts of Ayodhya to a place called Nandigrama. Bhratur vachanakari cha pratignya paragastada paduke tvabhishichyatha Nandigrame vasattada. Bhratur vachanakari cha. And so, being in his brother's vachana, being in whatever his brother gave him, his brother's agnya, pratignya paragastada. Again, that reconciliation. He is still dependent to his brother, but at the same time, he is following the truth, dharma. Pratignya paragastada. He coronates these padhukas, keeping himself as an intermediary. Whatever, things need to be done, they are given to the padhukas, and he takes those things and keeps it to him. He does it himself. He serves as an instrument for the Padhukas. So he coronates it. Savalavyajanam Chhatram Dharaya Masa Sasvayam Bharataha Shasanam Sarvam Padukabhyam Nyavedayat. He does all the Rajopacharas, whatever things that a king has, whatever Sukhabhogas, whatever happiness or whatever, paraphernalia the king has, those things are given to this Paduka. Chatra, Chamara, whisk and fan, everything is given to this Paduka. And he himself is acting as the servant of these Padukas. He is serving these Padukas not just as a Bhakta but as a Karta. He is taking care of the kingdom, giving him up himself to these Padukas. Bharata Shasanam Sarvam Padukabhyam Nyavedayat. Anything that needed to be decided or to be done was given to these Padukas, and through that he kept the kingdom in prosperity. And that is how it is. When you come to the end of Ramayana, in the Pattabhisheka, Bharata says, Bharata gives accurate numbers about how each thing prospered when Rama wasn't here. All of this happened with Bharata not being the king himself, but dedicating it to these Padukas. In this way, Paduka Pattabhisheka, this Karma Yoga, this Bhakti, this tale of Bhakti ends. Sitaram.
Thank you, Ashruthji, for this very inspiring and devotional rendering, and thank you, Vaidehi, also, which was started yesterday.